Hi everybody, I'm so glad you're with me today. This video is hopefully going to satisfy my need to get rid of some stuff. You know, new stuff comes in, some stuff has to go out, okay? So I have compiled a bag of some of the most random, forgotten, questionable items in my collection. I'm going to use them all, and I call this kind of like last chance makeup because I'm going to try it on and pretty much decide by the end of the video how much of it's going to get decluttered today. A lot of you have told me in the past these videos are helpful more so than maybe just a standard declutter, although those might remove a higher volume of stuff from the collection. These can really tell you more about the products. So I've got my little bag full, and yeah, let's do it. This is the first thing I put in, is this Milani Soft Focus Glow. I really feel like this product is probably along the lines of the Lumi Glotions of the world and the e.l.f. Halo Glow and everything, but this is so dang bulky, and I have like 2 of these that I'm keeping in my drawer, and if I decided to get rid of them, I'd have a lot more room. This is the Golden Glow one, and I just, I think I have a lot of products like this, but let's see if this is drastically different. Let's pump it out. She's sputtering. She's spitting out. Okay, honey, that's about 2/3 of my face. Ah! And then you check to see where it went on your black leggings. All right, let's blend it in and just see. I was so bummed. I think the pump is broken on my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. Like, I don't know what happened. Somewhere in there it's clogged because no matter how many times I pump down, absolutely nothing's coming out. And I can't like untwist the pump either. I don't get it. I think I'm gonna have to go in maybe with a little pin or something and really try to dislodge whatever may be stuck, but I don't know where along the lines it's stuck. Okay, pay attention, Em. It smells a little crayon boxy. Maybe that's a sign, I don't know. It gave me a nice little glow. It's kind of a subtle glow, but do I like it any better than the Maybelline Perfector 4-in-1 or any of those other ones? I'm thinking this one and its friend can go. The darker one too. Maybe I put on a little of the darker one just to see. This is Bronze Glow. All of the Bronze Glow. For some reason this I want to blend out with a brush. Let's see. My hair is still wet. Like a big chunk of it in the back is pretty wet because I showered kind of late last night because it was a cheer practice night, and when I got home I just kind of melted into the couch and just didn't move, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I meant to wash my hair. Darn it. And it was like almost 10, but I did it. Again, I'm underwhelmed. I think it can go bye-bye. Bulky things, you can go. I need to start making a little pile. Talk about bulky. The eye palette I chose to put on the chopping block today is super bulky. Okay, this little guy, the NYX Bear With Me Luminous Tinted Skin Serum. Like, everybody talks about the concealer from this line, but nobody's really talking about this, myself included. I've had it in my stash for a while. I have the shade Universal Light Medium. So you shake it up, and then there's like this little thingamajig right here, and we're oozing. Let's swipe that on. How does it? I forget. You squeeze. It's like an udder. It's a skin serum udder. All right, so squeeze it. Why is this so awkward feeling? I guess I don't really have to support the whole bottle with my other hand. Okay, but you got to make it shake down into the udder. Yeah, I truly think I've got enough on there. Like, these dots are pretty thick. All right. Udder cap replaced. And this is definitely going to be an e.l.f. Duo Complexion Brush kind of job. I feel like this is going to be super duper light coverage. And it's making me look way more luminous than even those glowy primers did, don't you think? Like, I'm suddenly seeing a lot of luminosity on my skin, and it feels incredibly tacky. I have so many lightweight products like this in my collection. I think it's going to be pretty easy to let this one go. Like, I don't know. That does look pretty. You know how sometimes you just get in a mood to get rid of stuff, and you can just find it way easier to justify, like, getting rid. But if you're in the mood to keep, I can also justify many reasons to keep. Just tell me what side I'm on. Tell me what team I'm playing for. I can make the argument. Now, this is really, really tacky to the touch, like incredibly. All I can think right now is that's going to take a lot of setting powder to get it feeling how I pretty much want it to feel for a whole day of wear. Belle wants to get her ears pierced today. We're on fall break, so kids are out of school. We also have the dentist later. Gotta make it last all day. For now, I'm putting this in the no pile. So far, we're 100% no pile. I am overwhelmed with concealers and powders, and the concealer that I chose to test out today is my Catrice True Skin High Coverage Concealer. It's hyaluronic acid, waterproof, 18-hour hydrating. I really like Catrice, and I really wish they would have stayed in Ulta, because the moment they left Ulta, I just feel like their accessibility is not as good. I know they're on Amazon, but they need to be in a makeup retailer, I feel like. We're gonna try this again. It's been a while. Ooh, the doe foot is very flexible. The shade looks like it should be real good. I haven't used my Catrice foundations either in a while. Like, maybe I need to do a whole Catrice retry type of video. All right, I'm gonna spread this out. Man, I put on a lot. I think I thought it had a lot to compensate for given the light coverage of my skin tint. It looks so far like it's doing really good. Ooh, looking good on the surface of the skin. Honestly, kind of saving the coverage of the look. It didn't have really any help, you know? Sometimes you put concealers on top of full coverage foundations and you're like, well, I don't quite know how much this concealer did because the foundation was already doing so much. And here we know our foundation-y products were doing nothing. So this came in. This rose to the occasion. It's blending in nicely. It's looking good and even. I think this one is something that has deserved more use and hasn't been getting it. Honestly, super impressed by that. It looks good, it looks natural, but it's covering like crazy. Good tone, like good shade match. Consistency, even though I haven't used it in a while, the consistency seems really nice. I'm gonna put this in the keep pile. First thing to keep. My loose powder. Again, if you're a bulky loose powder, you are immediately like, I'm lasering in my drawer. This is from Fenty, and this is the shade Butter of the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder. Now, I also have the shade Lavender in this, and that ever since I got Lavender, that's pretty much been the one of these that I use. And I actually have it in the Girls Cheer makeup bag because it's just very brightening, and I can use a little bit of it, and I feel like junk, you know, they're snatched. But this Butter version, like, am I thinking it's too dark, or why did I don't know. It doesn't look dark at all. It looks like a classic kind of translucent powder type of shade. Tap some into the cap. I do love that they put the stopper in, you know, and you can shake it out. They package it up well, and it's pretty packaging, but it's just huge. And if I don't really love it, I'm not gonna keep it. Okay, so we'll go in with this. I don't know if I've even used this powder in my hot pink triangle powder puff era, so maybe I'll feel differently about it just with this application method. You know, for a long time, I was using a little brush just to set, but I really feel like this does the most. Okay, we're gonna need to go around this nose. If you see excess, that's gonna get like swiped away. Tone looks really good from what I can tell right now. Gonna kind of swipe away with my Morphe under eye bullet brush. Honestly, not wowed. Not thinking my under eye looks any better right now than it does with Maybelline Fit Me or the Wet n Wild. In fact, it kind of looks a little drier. And I know that concealer and everything under the concealer was pretty darn hydrating. I'm gonna put it in the get rid of pile. Then I wanted to test this. This powder, I have it in a palette. Yeah, I got it in the Butter Dream Team palette. And I like this powder, but again, I was looking for bulky things in my drawer that I thought were taking up too much room, and I just haven't reached for this much. The Butter Believe It face powder. So this is in the shade, they call it translucent. Yes, it does have that butter bronzer kind of scent. And it's sort of a gradient powder, so if you want to go a little lighter with your tone, you go maybe a bit more toward the top. I'm just going to bounce everywhere and set the rest of my face and see what I think about this. Like, is it worth having it both in the palette and as a single when the single's kind of bulky? And the texture seems nice. Like, I'm getting some on my brush, but it's not like poofing up like a big cloud when I put my brush in. And what did it do? Ooh, the look is really good. It's adding, keep in mind, we didn't have a bunch of concealer added coverage down in here. Kind of into this, actually. I think this might be worth keeping because it's kind of versatile, you know? She could set under eye, all over the face. I feel like suddenly the whole look of the skin as overall seems kind of evened out. I say she stays. Among my cream and liquid bronzers, there is something I never really think about reaching for, and it's this from Laura Mercier. It is the Tinted Moisturizer Bronzer. This is a fairly new product, but I'm just really not compelled to go for it. I think if it would have a doe foot applicator, that could just be enough to make me want to use it more. I have 05 Sunstone. And I just think, I know I've got this squeezy tube, so then I gotta involve my fingers and my hand and everything. And so I just don't go for it. I'm going to, I guess, dot it around. Oh, it's dark. Dot it around. I don't want to go too far because I'm really not sure how fast it's gonna set. Oh man, it's dark. But it shears. Looks kind of pretty. Didn't drastically change the texture of my skin. Let's see how it contours, and let's be careful not to go too low with this. Gosh, I kind of like the look. Do I like it enough to realistically want to pull this out and use it more though? Oh. This might be a fun thing to do like live, and if there was some way to do live voting, like the viewers could choose whether it stays or goes. Kitten's like, I'm here. Oh, you look tired, sweetheart. You don't want to put too much of this on because it's almost wanting to look a little muddy here. I pulled out Sahara from Persona the other day because I've just used Dune so darn much. And Sahara is pretty dark, but it blends every bit as easily. And it looks about like this on the skin. But there's just more ease because it's in that stick and it's just really blendable and I like it. Oh man, I went to Big Lots yesterday for the first time in a long time. Their like seasonal decor is so cute. I was blown away. I needed to get some stuff for the trunk or treat, and we're doing like a fall forest kind of theme. Bub's gonna be in a squirrel suit. Yes, extra large men's squirrel suit. And we're all gonna be woodland creatures. Belle and I are deer. Biddy's gonna be a fox. I've got a little bear suit for Bubba. I'm not sure if he's gonna participate or not, or how long he'll be there, but anyways, I was running low. Like Walmart only had 4 little vines that I could buy because I want to make the whole trunk look really forested, so to speak, and they didn't have a lot, so I go to Big Lots and they have tons of things like that. But then their Christmas stuff that they're already putting out is really cute too. Okay, now I got this. I'm letting it go. This is just a little too fussy. It's for some reason requiring a little too much blending. Again, I like the look, but I can get this look from products I like better. I think this is the most cutthroat I've ever been in a video like this. I also pulled out this from RMS Beauty. This is my Luminizing Powder Madeira Bronzer. It's like a shimmery bronzer, glowy but kind of deep. So let's like top off with this and just see. Ooh, it really does have some sheen. I like that. Can you see like what that is doing on the finish of the skin? All in all, this look is going pretty well considering I'm only keeping, what, 2 things so far? Gosh, I like this. I like the sheen that it has. It's pretty. It's kind of unique for my collection. Like, look how dark it can go. And you shear it out and it's got this pretty shimmer. I kind of like the way it pulled things together, you know? The only reason I pulled this out was that it really hadn't been used in a while and I'd kind of forgotten my take on it. I think I'm gonna let it stay another day. Yeah, it's in the stay pile. Okay, you know a brand I never ever think about anymore? Cover FX. I have this little blush duo, monochromatic blush duo, matte and shimmer from Cover FX. The shade is called Pink Dahlia. Ooh, it is a nice little compact. Magnetic closure, mirror, 2 finishes of blush. Let's see if this is even being sold anymore. My last Google search was, what is Gossip Girl all about? Should I watch that show? Cover FX blush. Because it kind of matters to me if a product's not being sold anymore. Okay, it's being sold on the Cover FX website and Amazon. Let's just see how it goes. I just really haven't used it in a while. It's kind of gotten off my radar. It's slipped into it, tucked into a little area of my blush drawer that I just don't see a lot. So, okay. Looks like there's a lot of pigment coming off on the brush. Let's try not to take it in so far. Remember the video? We don't pass this point. And it's hard for me because I kind of by default put my brush here first. So I noticed that the other day when I was doing my makeup. I was like, oh, that's going to be a little bit of a tough habit to break because that's where I first put my brush. So I might have gone in a little far. But ooh, the color is pretty. Gotta be honest with myself, I've got a lot of this shade though. Can M actually declutter a blush? I do declutters quite frequently, actually. I just don't record them all because I don't feel like I'm as productive sometimes when I record. That's pretty. And then we got this glowy shade. I'm taking it up kind of high. Okay. Glowy shade here. Can you see it? I can't see it much on my brush there. I can see a little sheen on top of there. It's just sheer. It's a much different formula than the matte powder. It's okay, but I think I can let it go. I just don't feel very connected to this product. I love a good corally blush, but I most definitely have a lot of this color already. And then we've got the Essence Pure Nude highlighter palette, and ooh, all these shades seem like really workable highlighter colors. Let's swatch a few. Okay, shimmery, smooth, buttery. There's what they look like. Nicely pigmented. 2 out of the 3 look almost exactly alike. Those 2 right there. Let's try this real light one. And a lot of fallout taps off. And I really liked focusing my highlighter lightness right there and not really carrying it up any further. I feel like it just kind of did something for the center part of my face. That's pretty. Yeah, I learned some things in the AI video. Maybe a little up here. I don't know. This is some pretty highlighter. And then we do a little relevance check. We see if it's still on Ulta. Okay, this is no longer being sold on Ulta's website. You know, it's nice, it's pretty, but that might be all the info I need to let it go. Because again, it's taking up a large footprint in my drawer, and I have a lot of pretty highlighters. So we might say bye-bye. The declutter count is 7 and the keep count is 3. I have an LA Colors brow pencil. It's just called brow pencil. It's okay, you don't have to have the most flashy name for me to like you. Medium is the shade. Let's just go for it. She could not look more typical. I mean, she's a sharpenable pencil and she's got a spoolie on the other end. This must have come from Dollar Tree, I'm guessing. Possibly DG. I have gotten some good lip products lately from DG, LA Colors. Okay, just filling it in. It's actually filling in pretty well. And I have so many brow pencils right now, skinny brow pencils that are just about gone. So maybe this is a keeper. Take a little spoolie brush here. Honestly, can we complain about this at all? It's good to have a dollar store brow option that's actually good. I'm not seeing anything really wrong with this. The tone truly does seem cool enough, and for me it really has to be a cool brown, not a warm or orangey brown. It's laying down over my scar area with no problem at all. LA Colors brow pencil said, I came to work today. Heard it was makeup on the chopping block day. I brought my best. Okay, little grasshopper, you can stay. Like the spoolie, good work. To set, we have this Fluff Up Brow Wax from Benefit. Sometimes I kind of lose my patience with these brow wax things that leave all this residue in the brows. And it's like, okay, now what? Now what do I do with your little white bits that you're leaving in there? Can anybody see that? Because they're all over the place. Okay, you must dab over it. Okay, I dabbed, but I still see. Okay, then you spoolie over it again. What? This seems like a lot of extra work. It is fluffing them up, and it's perhaps adding a little more look of volume, having more of a thickening effect than a straight up gel might have. I just don't think that's really worthwhile for me. Like, I've got enough gels that I like that just don't leave me having to dab and tap. And it really shows in my dark brows is the thing. Maybe a blonde who was trying to thicken things up, like maybe my mom could enjoy this because I bet it wouldn't show nearly as much. And it might give her brows more of a thickened look. Okay, so this is going in a unique spot. I'm going to put the loose powder there as well as possible things to give to mom. The reason why those things aren't automatic, like, oh, I'll donate them to the Women's Center, they've been used, okay? So that's against the health codes. I'm going to put on some eyeshadow primer. She's a keep. I just want to use something I can trust. So overall, I would say the complexion is looking really good right now, considering how light of coverage we're working with. We used the skin tint. We kind of, I think, saved things with the coverage of that concealer and how well that worked. The blush is really blushing, but this is the eye palette I pulled out to put on the chopping block, and it's really big and it takes up a lot of room in my drawer, and I just don't reach for it often. It's the Tartelette Full Bloom. She's so big. How many shades are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 4, that's 28, making me do math. And I know a critique I've had on this palette is the fact that, like, look how there's all this stuff in here. And the darkness, the true darkness, is 1. Party of 1. I don't know. I'm going to set out to do my absolute best with this today. What is the best I can do? I'm going to try for it. So therefore, let's choose the color Optimistic. Okay, this could be a good, like, kind of starting things out or blending out your edge type of color. It's given me a little depth to work with. Okay. There's just a lot of, like, light shades that you could use to kind of put on the edge of your look. There's an abundance of that, an abundance of things to highlight with, let's say. All right, that shade's setting it up there. I want to go on the edge of that with the shade that's right next to it called Fresh Picked. It's a little lighter, looks kind of buttery, lightly on the outside. Blurred edges, you know? Okay, that'll do. And then we'll go to Magnolia right up here, and that can come under the brow. Then let's take Independent over here, this shade. See it? Medium warm brown. And let's just let that come into the crease and do some work too. I think I probably have continued to have this in my collection because generally the formulas are good in here. And sometimes when you have something substantial like this, maybe you think, well, I'm gonna really think before I get rid of that one. I'm gonna really mull it over first. That was a substantial purchase, you know? Okay. There's that. The crease is deepening. I'm thinking of some darkness with maybe a center of the lid pop. Let's try Romance here. We have a little bit of a plum thing. She's not very dark. It's pretty much what you see is what you get, like in the palette. It's not any real darker or lighter. But as you can see, I'm kind of placing that on the inner and outer and leaving a small gap. Don't you shy away. All right, then I'm going to take this smallish brush. I don't often use this one, the Small Firm Eyeshadow ES4 from Profusion. I'm just going to blend where it kind of came up above here. See that? Blend it. And before I go popping anything light, I think maybe I go even darker now with Grow right here. That's my dark shade. Add some of that to the outside. At least the dark shade that's in there is a good one, you know, pigmented, good quality. Profusion small pointed because that wasn't very blended. It was just kind of applied. It's odd. When I patted that shade on, it looked pretty good and intense, and then I go in to blend it and it's like I'm practically able to blend it away and I'm having to add more. So Cherry Blossom. I'm going to take this with my finger. Ew, that looks kind of chunky. Okay, a little more. What do we do? Add more. There are most definitely some really smooth classic shimmers in this palette, like the First in Bloom or like Toasted. Just think of those original little Tartelette palettes that were smaller. What were they, 12 shade palettes? But they've thrown in some little bit screwy textures in here. I'm just going to build Cherry Blossom even more right here. I think we're going to have to just end it there. This is not a bad eye look. I'm not upset about this. Do I need to keep this? Do I need to hold on to this, given everything else that I have? I've got a Laura Mercier Caviar stick here, and it's kind of like a shimmery one. It's in different packaging, and it's called Kiss from a Rose. Baby! I'm not gonna say any seal in here, but that's what I'm thinking. Okay, I thought maybe it might be a little deeper, but it's pretty light. It's like a pink shimmer. It's maybe giving me a little more darkness around the lower inner rim, but she's very shiny and pink. What I might do is just add a little bit of, like, say this shade, just add a little of that to the outside. That's good. What's the availability on Tartelette Full Bloom? It looks like it's still on Tarte's website. Nowhere else. I'm gonna let this go because I don't think I have a ton of use for a shade like this. And as much as I love that particular song being brought to my mind, I don't need it, and I don't need this either. And I didn't think I was creating any fallout when I put that center shade on, but I can see I've got quite a bit. Trying to work it into my highlighter. The eyeliner is the Lottie London Wing Edition Stamp Liner. I don't know, guys. This must have been sent to me in PR because I don't think I bought this. All right, we got one side that's like a thick marker and the other side is a wing stamp. We will try our best. Yesterday, I heard a helicopter so loud. I thought it was gonna like land in the open space between houses here. Like, it seemed so loud and so low. It had to have been heading to the hospital, I guess. I don't think I'd ever heard one so loud and close. Okay, so I've gone all the way across my upper lash line there. And then the wing stamp. Can you see it a little bit? There. It looks like basically a little triangle kind of thing. Oh, it's kind of hard to see exactly how I'm placing it. Just do it, just do it. Ooh, there it is. Honestly, that's not too bad. It doesn't quite like taper off maybe quite as much. I think the tip is kind of flexible and it went down just a little bit. It's good enough. Okay. Placement, placement, symmetry. Ooh. Just do it. Oh man, that one's really kind of pointing down because I have a crease there. I have a bone. Oh gosh, I'm not so happy with that side. Look, I look like I got some kind of little elf hat just hanging off the edge there. No, it looks like a witch's hat tipping out. Now I got to reconstruct using way more black liquid liner today than I wanted to. I gotta fill in that gap a little bit. I'm gonna have to soften out the bottom for sure. It looks pretty stark right now. No, Tartelette's work isn't done yet. We're going over to this medium brown right here and kind of like trying to soften that somewhat. It might look like, oh, you're making it thicker, you're adding more to it, but just don't want to see that edge that it had. This eye's not quite so bad. It's like if I would have dropped the wing low, I think it would have looked exactly like the stamp because it didn't really have anything to compete with. But my eye goes in, there is a crease there, and the stamp can't really execute on that area, you know? And then a mascara that I know a lot of people rave about, maybe in sponsored posts, I don't know, this Lancome Lash Idole Mascara. A lot of people rave about it. I've never really felt the same way, but I'm gonna give it another go. Sent to me by Lancome. Thank you, Lancome. I do appreciate that. But I'm just not a huge fan. You know, not every mascara works for every person. And we're gonna see if we can bulk this up and make something of it, okay? Got a really good curl on there, I think. Whoa, the stopper came out. Oh, well, that's a good sign to declutter. I've got black on my thumb. Yes, we're in the chapter of the video called Products Behaving Badly. Okay. Okay, let's pretend like that never happened, says the mascara. Okay, so it's a brush with a little bit of a curve and some really short bristles. Think CoverGirl Lash Blast, but just like kind of a curved brush design. I think there's some version of Lash Blast actually that is a curved brush. One coat, really average looking with one coat. And we know these days, the things that can be really good after one coat, like I'm forming a small list of things that are good after one coat. CoverGirl Exhibitionist Stretch and Strengthen, the Huda One Coat Wow, It Cosmetics Superhero. Even this Maybelline Falsies Surreal, like there's a growing list of mascaras that look pretty good on me after one coat. The standard is being raised. Two coats, I don't know. I'm gonna have to come back over to it because sometimes things just don't build on themselves immediately. It's not that wet of a formula. It's kind of in the middle, but I may just need to come back after it's had a chance to sit there for a second. This is the type of product where it's like, why do so many people like this? I just got some on my lid because I'm like aggressively trying to get something to come off and show. Let's go back over to the side. Maybe with 3 coats we can have some satisfaction. 3rd coat, even after partial dry down, didn't do a lot. It's not my worst lash look ever, but I just feel like it should be going so much further. The one thing I feel like it's not doing, I don't think it's dropping my curl. I just got a notification that my Walmart order is arriving soon. It's 6/12 and that order was delivered on Tuesday. Today is Thursday. I'm building up another coat here. Again, the curl doesn't seem to be dropping. I just want more. And I'm gonna do some Cali Ray on the bottom, and Cali Ray of course is staying. This is gonna go. I only have 4 things that I'm keeping so far, and 2 possible give to moms. Okay, there's where we're at. This wing probably does still look a little thicker, but I don't want to mess with things anymore. I've got a couple things for lips. One that I'm considering here, this Urban Decay lipstick, which the packaging is kind of cool. Kind of bulky, but kind of cool. This is the lipstick, the Shine formula in the shade Love Trap. I'm not sure. She transferred down in a hurry, and it's opaque. I didn't pull out a lip liner because I wanted to see the true color of the lipstick. Maybe I need to be wearing these more. These Urban Decay lipsticks, I got a few. She's shiny, she's full color. That's a pink that I really do like. I'm inclined to keep that one. The gloss that I'm thinking about is this ginormous gloss from Milani called Keep It Full Max Bombshell Plumping Lip Balm. Plumping lip balm? They call it a balm? Okay, well, I thought it was a gloss. I don't know if it's gonna put me in pain. I think I've honestly feared this gloss, just from its intimidating size. It has a nice texture. Not sticky at all, which is, I don't know, maybe that part of that's the Urban Decay that it went on top of. It says Bombshell, Plumping Lip Balm. There's a weird thing happening between my lips. Can you see? It's like the caverns of a cave where there's like those, I'm picturing like an old Scooby-Doo cartoon where they're like in a cave and the things are dripping down. What are those called? Stalagmites? I don't know. Ugh. My lips are just too gloppy right now. The lips are tingling. I'm sorry. I guess I should have put the Milani on first and maybe just seen what it did on its own. This is not really a fair test. Okay, just this. Feels thick. Does feel kind of balmy. Let's look this product up. Seems like it's readily available, currently being sold at Walmart. I'm feeling the tingle a lot more now that it's like coming right in touch with the lips without this little protective barrier. Intense pout maximization meets serious hydration in this next level plumping formula. High comfort cushiony balm loaded with cooling and tingling lip loving ingredients that instantly give you full pillowy lips. Cooling, or is it burning? I think it's a little tingly burny, personally, because I know what a minty tingle feels like, and that's like what a buxom gives you, and this is kind of a little painful, but a really nice texture. Like, I wouldn't mind having this texture in a gloss that didn't burn my lips. It's a no for me. It takes up so much room in the relatively small little drawer where I'm keeping lip plumpers. I got enough things that I like. I like my Lawless Forget the Fillers. I've got some buxom things that I like. Just generally speaking, Milani's Keep It Full glosses are great, but this is a little bit more than I think I need. Okay, Urban Decay Love Trap can come back. Lips are still burning, but that looks pretty. That is a nice one-step lip color. You gotta respect the one-step lip where, you know, it can look full colored, it can make your lips look defined. So let's review what we're getting rid of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, with 2 of those as a possible give. Hello, good morning. So the 2 that might have potential for mom that she might like, that Fluff Up Brow Wax, which I think could do better in lighter brows. The Fenty loose powder in the butter shade. I really don't need any more loose powder around here. And I know my mom likes a good loose powder. I think that could work for her. But nonetheless, they're getting out of my collection, and I'm getting rid of these Milani Soft Focus Glows. I'm gonna get rid of this Bear With Me serum, the Cover FX blush, the Laura Mercier bronzer, the liner stamp, the Kiss from a Rose, the mascara, the Stingy lip gloss, the Pure Nude palette. Good product not being sold anymore, and just don't really have a need for that right now. And also the Tartelette Full Bloom. Man, we did some work. That was good. 4 things that I'm gonna keep. The Catrice True Skin Concealer. I thought this did a really good job for us, like just in enhancing the coverage. We needed that, and it did well, and it didn't over dry. I like that stuff. Keeping the Physicians Formula Butter Believe It powder. I thought the finish of the skin looked really pretty once this was applied all over. And I think this can set the under eye too. I like it. I've got it in a palette form, and I still think it's worth keeping the original full size. This RMS Beauty bronzer was another thing that I thought looked very nice across the surface of the skin. It has some sheen. It has kind of a cool tone to it. And I think it's just a really good quality product, and I think that's worth keeping. And also LA Colors Brow Pencil. I mean, simple, 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 and cheap. I probably paid $1.25 for this, and it worked. It just worked. So yeah, we had a few good rediscoveries today, and we're able to clear some things out too. My hair, like I said, is still a little damp in the back. Thank you all so, so much for watching. Let me know if you want to see more. If you liked it, of course, give it a thumbs up. Maybe share it with a friend, and I will see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.